Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tom Spark. Welcome back to another video. So, the election did not go the way I was hoping. A lot of you idiots out there are bragging about it in the comments and stuff like that, acting like you've won. But in reality, I think it's I who will win, and unfortunately, the American people at large who probably will end up losing. That's something I've kind of come to the conclusion of after doing some thinking about it, and I'm going to explain why that is in this video. If you guys still aren't using a VPN by some chance, I think you're probably going to need one now. Go to vpntierlist.com to pick an A tier or S tier VPN provider. Overall, it looks like America really just did not want to elect a black woman. And it's kind of sad. A lot of people are probably happy saying, hey, it's not about it being a black woman. But the whole kind of Republican thing is saying, oh, we don't want a DEI hire for president. So unfortunately, for all the women out there, it might be a long time before we have a woman president again. I think, the Democratic Party's like, well, we've tried women twice. It's not going to work. So that's kind of sad for women out there. Additionally, all the other reasons that this is kind of sad for American people. If you're a woman in any country or state where abortion is not legal, I do think that the Trump presidency is going to try to enforce a federal abortion ban. He's kind of waffled on this. He says it's up to the states and so on, but even that is pretty bad because roughly 45 to 50% of each state is blue. So all those people are just getting cut. We've had Roe versus Wade for a number of years and it's been protecting women's rights and so on. And now that is just no longer the case. Additionally, the Supreme Court has pretty much said Trump can do whatever he wants to whoever he wants. So if this channel gets deleted sometime in the future, you're going to know why. But outside of all those political things and horrible things that are probably going to happen, such as, repealing climate regulation, repealing pretty much every form of progress we've had in the last 4 years, I think the most damning thing you guys are going to probably care about is in terms of the tech space, and that's kind of the focus of this video. So I actually think that Donald Trump, being an authoritarian and probably a fascist as he will be, he already tried to storm the Capitol. He's pretty much said he's going to be a dictator on day one. I do think this is actually going to be create a new VPN boom in America. If you look at China, a lot of people in China need to use VPNs just to use the internet. Just look at their favorite websites. To just be able to do anything, you pretty much need a VPN in China. And I unfortunately think America could be heading closer to this very quickly. Not only that, but the Trump administration is probably going to roll back privacy protections and digital surveillance repeals that have kind of happened in the last couple of years. So I think the need for personal security and privacy is going to be even more important than ever. Now, if you guys don't believe me and think I'm just making stuff up, well, I've researched and found some examples of really bad stuff that's happened in the past. One example is in 2017, Trump passed a repeal of internet privacy protections. And basically what this did is it gave internet service providers free power to sell data on us. Another example is Republicans have historically really liked the Patriot Act, which is pretty much the biggest internet surveillance program in the United States. So that is definitely not good. There's also been instances of Republican senators who support Trump, like Lindsey Graham and other senators who want to bring back legislation called the Lawful Access to Encrypted Data Act, which would pretty much give the government backdoor access to any form of encryption, which would be really, really bad. Lastly, Republicans also have wanted in the past support for national security letters, which would pretty much give them access to bypass any form of security in terms of technology without actually needing a warrant. Yikes. I don't think VPNs are going to be a luxury anymore. I think in America, they're now going to be a necessity. Trump has said that he wants to go after media companies, and I think VPNs are going to be necessary in order to look at the websites you want. If you want to look at your website that is posting news that is critical to Trump, you might need a VPN. He might actually go after people critical to him. This is usually how authoritarian governments work, and VPNs will definitely see a sky rise in popularity just for people wanting to look at certain websites and articles and stuff like that. One of my main concerns is that there could be less privacy for people when it comes to internet service providers. I think that the Trump administration most likely will repeal and roll back regulations that require ISPs to protect user privacy. At the end of the day, the Trump presidency and kind of huge idea is about giving corporations more power and more money and kind of stripping it away from people. ISPs will now be given more freedom to collect and sell user data. Everything from browsing history to location data will be fair game, and giving ISPs a treasure trove of information to sell about you. Ads are going to be even worse. I think in response to this, VPNs will also skyrocket because people use them as a way to shield themselves from their internet service provider. Another thing I think is going to happen is more backdoors and stuff like this in the common software and internet just overall with various products to be able to monitor private conversations and stuff like this. VPNs hopefully can safeguard against this kind of stuff, as well as other kind of important tools like maybe stuff like Signal. Other encrypted messengers are going to be very important to kind of safeguard your communications. I think activism, journalists, and ordinary citizens could face significant backlash against Trump depending on how far he wants to go against free speech. Republicans always like to say that they're so pro-speech, but at the end of the day, we see in a lot of other kind of red conservative authoritarian states that a lot of free speech is suppressed, and VPNs could be important for activists. Lastly, I do think that stuff like porn will be blocked. It may be even a global ban in the United States, or a countrywide ban. We've seen lots of red states kind of ban porn, and Pornhub is kind of reacting by just not letting people use their websites because these states want people to pretty much send their ID for a porn website. Not only is this a huge privacy issue if any of this information got leaked, but it's not secure, it's not effective. You can bypass it with various different ways. You can just go on websites that are not based in the United States. Like, so for Pornhub, you can't access Pornhub in Texas, but you could visit 50 other different websites. So it's just stupid in and of itself, but who knows how effective. Trump could make a very effective porn ban in the United States, and if people want to wink it, they're going to have to use VPNs. That's just one example of, I think it's going to be one of the biggest ones. I've noticed that when I make videos specifically on that, it gets lots of views and people start using VPNs. So yeah, if you like winking it to sexy girls, well, you might need a VPN now. Pretty much, maybe even in every state. All right, guys, that's just some of my kind of reasoning here on why I think, specifically for the channel, I think it might be good that Trump won. Unfortunately for the American people, I think VPNs are going to have an increase in popularity with all the things going on. I think that surveillance state is going to be much more of an issue. I think decrypting communications is going to be an issue. I think free speech and media is going to be an issue, and VPNs can help with all these different things. So yeah. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next video very soon.